Hey man. Long time no see. How have you been?
I've been good. How about yourself?
Well, I've been better.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Tell me, what is it that's bothering you?
Nah, I wouldn't want to bother you with my problems before the game.
No, I insist. Go on, tell me.
Alright, well, have you ever heard of Twitter?
No sir, I have not. What is this Twitter thing that you speak of?
It's this new social networking website that's all the rage nowadays. In fact, in the spring of 2011, when Twitter was really becoming popular, it was growing at a rate of 1,382% per month. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it yet. You must be living under a rock.
Actually I don't. I just hardly have time for anything other than playing soccer and looking at myself in the mirror experimenting with new hairstyles.
Right, of course, my mistake. Well, anyway, when you make a Twitter account, people can choose to follow you. This basically means that whatever you tweet will show up on their news feed. It's a great way for people to keep tabs on their favorite athletes, and it makes them feel closer to us than they ever have. You only have 140 characters per tweet, but that's really the only restriction.
Neato. That sounds really cool. I think I'll make one after the game.
Well, not so fast. You see, the reason I'm feeling down in the dumps is because Twitter is actually causing a lot of problems in the sports industry nowadays. In fact, there have been some issues regarding Twitter that have gone to court.
Really? I find that hard to believe. It sounds like such a good idea.
It is a good idea, but people don't realize that when they tweet something, anybody with internet access, which, let's face it, is almost everybody these days, can see their tweet. They don't think before they tweet, and it's getting them into trouble.
What a shame. Who's gotten into trouble?
Well, unfortunately, there's been many athletes who have gotten into trouble. In her article titled Twitter, the sports media rookie, Jaya A. Thomas wrote about Antonio Cromartie's controversial tweet.
The cornerback for the New York Jets?
Yup. Well, actually at the time he was with the San Diego Chargers, but during training camp in August of 2009, he tweeted about the food they were serving the team. I have a screenshot of the tweet right here actually, see?
Man, we have to have the most nasty food of any team. Damn, can we upgrade? 4 straight years the same-ish, maybe that's why we can't win the Super Bowl we need. Wow, he's crazy. I mean, if the food they have at his facilities is anything like what we have at mine, then I agree, the food sucks, but why would he put something like that on his Twitter where anybody can see it? It's one thing to say that to a teammate privately, but once you put it on Twitter anyone can see it. Even coaches from your team.
Yes sir, and that's exactly what happened. The team ended up fining him $2,500. It was the first instance in which Twitter had gotten an athlete in trouble publicly, and there have been many more since then.
Who else has gotten into trouble?
Well, most recently, New England Patriots linebacker Brandon Spikes caused quite a stir when he tweeted something very insensitive towards homosexuals. Even though he was kidding, it still got a lot of people talking. Luckily for him, his coach Bill Belichick has no emotions whatsoever, and so he didn't fine or suspend Spikes, but I'm sure he talked with him privately about what it was doing to the team's image.
That's nuts. I find it crazy that something that seems like such a wonderful idea has caused so much controversy involving professional athletes because of their inability to use it properly.
I know, it's a shame. The more that I hear about these incidents happening, the deeper I look into it because it's such an interesting topic to me. Unfortunately, Twitter is still so new that any articles I am able to find on the issue are mainly speculative or opinionated. The popular opinion seems to be that Twitter is a good tool that is simply being misused by professional athletes, and the regulations that have been put into place by leagues like the NFL, NBA, and MLB are helping to avoid some of these situations and making Twitter become a very useful tool for these companies.
I was actually thinking about that earlier when you were explaining what Twitter is. I feel like sports teams could use something like Twitter to communicate with fans and even run promotions and earn some extra cash to pay me more money.
Exactly. I think that is more along the lines of how Twitter is meant to be used anyways. Many sports organizations have begun to run contests and ticket giveaways through Twitter. Getting fans to the stadium with free tickets creates revenue because fans still have to pay for parking and refreshments at the game.
That's wonderful. What other positives have come into existence since Twitter started causing these sports controversies?
Well, Twitter put into effect its verified account program after St. Louis Cardinals manager Tony La Russa sued Twitter. What happened was that somebody made a fake Twitter account claiming to be La Russa and began tweeting things slandering the Cardinals players. This made it seem like La Russa didn't like his players. He eventually dropped all 8 charges that were included in the lawsuit, but as I mentioned before, this case caused Twitter to launch its verified account program. I'm sure you can guess what that is.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a program in which accounts are verified.
Huh? Very funny. Actually, as it turns out, you're basically right. When somebody famous wants to create a Twitter account, they can contact Twitter directly and have them verify the account so that people who want to follow them know that the account is actually run by them and that it is not a fraudulent account. This is the symbol that appears next to a verified Twitter account.
Oh wow. What a beautiful symbol.
Agreed. Since this program has been put into place, athletes who are capable of using Twitter the right way have been able to take advantage of the opportunity that it gives them to communicate with their fans. Chad Okocinco, that bum who couldn't figure out how to run a route for the Pats last year, actually tweeted to his fans that he would buy movie tickets and popcorn for the first 50 people who showed up at a local movie theater. He actually did it, too. It was a great way for the fans to feel connected to their favorite horrible athlete.
See that? Twitter can be used by professional athletes in a fun way if they are careful about what they post on it.
Exactly. Like I said before, not much research has been done regarding the effects Twitter has on professional athletes. However, based on the experiences of others, we can come to the conclusion that Twitter can be a positive tool for both athletes and their organizations if it is used properly.
Right. However, it is up to the leagues and organizations to regulate when and how athletes can use Twitter so that it does not get them in trouble or make their organizations look bad because of the things that its players are saying.
And with the Twitter policies that are already being put into place, the leagues can do just that, assuming that they continue to revise these policies to keep up with any future problems that might occur.
Oh my! It looks like the game's about to start. It was wonderful talking to you. Best of luck out there tonight.
Same to you. It was nice catching up with you.
I still remember the first time I heard about Twitter. Yep. I thought, what the hell is this? Is this something I should even consider?
No one's gonna use this.
Just when I was getting the hang of my MySpace page,